Go.
In preparation for the November 17th Investment Committee member meeting, I thought it would be helpful if I went through the draft agenda with you quickly. Of course, the first item on the agenda is to review the minutes for September 17th, and there's action required. The next thing is to go into executive session like you've done in the past. There are several items on the executive session which you'll be discussing. With that includes items that go to the December board meeting. So, for example, the Lowry Hill manager's mandate, the selection of the investment consultant, along with the investment committee member, non-trustee, if you want to continue or have a name or selection. Then discuss education. What type of education do you members would you like? Also, we always try to set the meeting dates prior so you can get on your busy calendars. The next thing on the agenda is, of course, a very important thing, not only for you as investment committee members and the board, but also for us as staff, having to do with review and recommend the distribution philosophy and policy. Again, this was an item that was discussed at the September retreat, the idea of smoothing the distribution, and what the impact of that has on the spending, the distribution policy, along with how does that impact then the budgets. The next items on the agenda have to do with continual review, our third quarter review by Lowry Hill and our third quarter review from DeMarsh. You'll be able to see those reports as we post those on this site. Lowry Hill will then be presenting their strategic asset allocation presentation. As you're aware, Lowry Hill is looking at a different way, a different method for investing, not only the trust, but also the foundation. And I believe Cam Johnson will be making the presentation. Along with this, Cam usually presents the Trust 2009, the next year's work plan, and the Foundation's 2009 work plan. That item, of course, for the Foundation will need to have action, which is then forwarded on to the December board meeting. The last thing before lunch will be the review of the Foundation's investment policies, objectives, and guidelines. Of course, this is an important thing for the investment committee as they recommend policy to the board. This item will, once decided by the investment committee, the recommendation will be forwarded to the board in December. And then, of course, we'll break for lunch, but it's a short time period, of which after lunch, Jim Houlihan will be discussing and presenting the 2009 strategic budget and how that links back to your decision that you'll be making, the recommendation you'll be making earlier in the morning for the spending policy. And once that's completed, then the rest of the afternoon will be spent in a mini retreat. And we're hoping to get out of here by 4:30.